completely through the Office of the Senior Special Assistant to Mr. President on the MDGs to the tune of $1 billion per annum, $1 billion per annum. And these funds were made available to intervene specially on the MDGs to ensure that the country meets the Millennium Development Goals. The Millennium Development Goals are actually 8 time-bound goals that came on as a result of the Millennium Declaration that happened in 2000, wherein over 180 countries in the whole world came on board to ensure that proper activities are done to alleviate the sufferings of the masses. The office was established in 2006, and subsequently, the office is tasked with monitoring of the MDGs across the country and is making progress in accelerating the MDGs all across the country. The office is also working in tandem with the directive of the United Nations Secretary General, that is, complete the unfinished work of the MDGs as well as develop post-2015 development agenda. These MDGs, the Millennium Development Goals, are actually 8 time-bound goals, interrelated and interconnected. It runs through eradication of extreme poverty, achieving universal basic education, ensuring that there is gender equality and women empowerment, reducing under 5 mortality, improving maternal health, combating HIV/AIDS, malaria, and other diseases, ensuring there is environmental sustainability, and developing global partnership. The DRG MDG Fund, DRG meant Debt Relief Gains, follows some form of appropriation. From 2006 to 2012, the following funds had been received as represented in the line chart in billions, ranging from about 800 to $900 million that rank from 2006 to 2012. The DRG capital supplementation is also shown. Next slide, please. Is also shown through the conditional grant scheme, monitoring and evaluation as it applies. Also, the sectors, what the sectors receive, ranging from education right down to science, technology, and petroleum, the conditional grant scheme. The conditional grant scheme actually is a flagship project of the MDGs. As the name implies, conditional grant scheme is conditional and is a grant wherein 50% of the funding comes from the states and 50% of the funding comes from the federal government. What have we been able to do with the conditional grant scheme? For over a period of 2 years, over a period of 2 years, 11.3 billion in 2011 went to 113 local government, one local government by each senatorial district across the 36 states benefited from the federal government to the tune of 11.3 billion. The local government in turn added 11.3 billion, making a total of 22.6 billion. The state track for 2011, the federal government released the sum of 22.4 billion. The state complemented with 22.4 billion, targeting. We have to do poverty mapping across the states. We have to do baseline facility inventory. We have to do needs assessment. And from this finding, it was noted that for us to prevent duplication, for us to increase poverty intervention efficiency, we were able to discover that for us to be able to achieve the MDGs between now and 2015, we need a fund. There's a funding gap in the country of 1.3 trillion naira yearly. And then for health, education, water, and sanitation to be achieved, $78 per capita per year needs to be spent all across the country. What did we find in the baseline facility inventory? Taking a particular local government, for example, the Ekiti South, it is able to give us an overview of what the local government has in health, in schools and water points. At a glance, we'll be able to say that in Ekiti South local government, we have 11 primary healthcare centers or whatever as distributed on the screen. It is also able to tell us where these facilities are located in Ekiti South, for example. The teardrops you see on the screen, are hospitals, and the houses are primary healthcare centers and schools. It is also able to tell us in an overview what are the funding gaps, what are the gaps in those local governments. Those were the things we undertook before we began disbursement of funds within the local government. In 2011, the successes that we achieved in the implementation, next slide, in the implementation of the conditional grant scheme to the states and the local government in 2011, we were able to construct, renovate and equip 1,646 facilities. For water facilities, we did 4,478. We transferred funds, conditional cash transfer, to over 39,000 households. We engaged village health workers, 2,260 village health workers. We renovated 742 classroom blocks. We also rehabilitated health training facilities, 8 of them. We bought over 1.2 million textbooks for Nigerian children. We were able to also buy referral ambulances all across the country, 120 of them. We constructed teachers and quarters and health workers quarters. We also built VIP latrines in schools and in hospitals. What did we do in 2012? In 2012, we increased our achievement. We were able to further construct and renovate and as well as equip 1,743 health centers. I shall be showing you the pictures very soon. In water facilities, we were able to construct 4,507 water facilities. We increased our conditional cash transfer to 56,500 households across 24 states. We were also able to pay new village health workers, 2,960 of them. We constructed classroom blocks, 972. We also gave textbooks of over 1.5 million textbooks. We bought classroom chairs, benches and chairs for pupils, over 44,000 chairs. We also increased the ambulances we bought across the country to 177 ambulances. We constructed more teachers and health workers quarters, and we built more VIP latrine, 801 VIP latrine. We now decided that we needed to increase our agricultural processes in the local government. In 148 local government, we formed the agricultural cooperative and we funded them. Next slide, please. Like I had mentioned before, in 2011, 113 local governments across the country got funding. Sorry, it's a bit crowded, but we're going to pass across to you the various local governments that benefited in 113 local governments. Each local government came from one senatorial district, and it ran across the 36 states, including FCT. And this local government got 100 million naira each from the federal government. They complemented with another 100 million naira from their own purse, making 200 million naira, for which the local government does activities in health, in water, in sanitation, in agriculture, and in school. In 2012, we increased funding. We took on more local government, making a total of 261 local governments. between 2011 and 2012. In 2012, we took on 148 local government, and for the 148 local government, we equally gave them 100 million naira each, for which they complemented 100 million naira each. So for that local government in 2012, a total of 29.6 billion were spent on issues of health, agriculture, water, school, and sanitation. The social safety net. Social safety net. We were able, from the poverty mapping that we did, we discovered that some states in the country had more strength than other states. And we took on 24 states. We selected 24 states to fund in the conditional cash transfer, like I had already explained. And in those 24 states, we went down to the nitty-gritty of selecting the poorest 5 local governments in each of the 24 states. And in each of the 24 states that we selected 5 local governments, we in turn went down to select 5 poorest wards from each of the 5 local governments. And we funded 56,500 households right across the country. We used our poverty mapping index and the human capital development index for the country. We were able to do this. We selected and we were able to distribute this funding. We used the e-system, we got them mobile phones, we equally got them SIM cards. The condition is that they will be able to, they are women households, they will be able to attend antenatal care if they are pregnant, if they have children between 0 to 15 years. 0 to 5 years, they must ensure that the children are immunized. And between 5 and 15 years, they must ensure that the children go to school and attain 80% of classroom work before you can consistently access these fundings. We did e-registration to them. That picture shows me in Sokoto with the governor of Sokoto State launching the conditional cash transfer. Governor, is it Wamako? Yes, the Sokoto State governor. And we were giving the funding to the beneficiaries. These beneficiaries that are putting on these yellow reflectives are the beneficiaries of the conditional cash transfer in Sokoto State. You can locate them, they are your people, they are part of you. This gentleman is receiving his award of 5,000 naira. We give 5,000 naira stipends every month. Then we train them in agro businesses for a period of 1 year. We give 100,000 as an exit strategy. We equally collaborate with the State Ministry of Agriculture, the State Ministry of Health, and the State Ministry of the Education, because the children need to go to school. So we collaborate with them and ensure that they don't just give us stories. These monies are transferred directly from the banks to the beneficiaries. On the MDG Special Project, the MDG Special Project was aimed at addressing development gaps in education, health, water supply, small-scale power supply, skills acquisition center, community halls. In 2012 alone, we completed 1,209 projects. They are verifiable and they are on ground. For the ministries, departments and agencies, we were able also to give funding to Ministry of Health. In 2011, Ministry of Health got 20.8 billion, and in 2012, 24.5 billion was appropriated from the MDGs. We intervened in the Village Health Worker Scheme, Community Health Insurance, Saving the 1 Million Lives Initiative, Community Health Extension Workers. We supported the Primary Healthcare Development Agencies in immunization and Midwife Service Scheme. What were we able to achieve? Over 35 million children received oral polio, 6 million children had the new pentavalent vaccines, 4,000 midwives were recruited and trained. Over 15 million people had the CSM vaccine. In education, in 2011, we gave 13.8 billion, and we were able to achieve with that, with what we also gave in 2012. Appropriated to them was 16.5 billion. We intervened in annual capacity development, and all that. It runs through the screen. We support mass literacy, adult and non-formal education. We were able to reduce the perennial shortage of qualified teachers. We paid the salaries of 22,493 trained teachers. 11 model schools were constructed in Benue, FCT, Kogi, Gombe, and classrooms ongoing are constructed in 38 local governments, and they are 54% completed. For youth, in 2011, we were able to fund youth to the tune of 1.5 billion, and in 2012, 1.2 billion. We were able to train 15,608 MDG advocate corpers. 411 corpers were trained in 2011 work plan. Please, next slide, we're running for time. In agriculture, because of the importance of agriculture, in 2011, they got 541 billion appropriated, and in 2012, that funding was markedly increased to 5.1 billion, from 541 million to 5.1 billion. The government is doing good. They were able to construct feeder roads. They trained over 2,000 women in agricultural enterprises. Over 22,500 farmers were trained, and then 5,000 portable pesticide sprayers were procured. For women affairs, we were able to give respectively 802 million and 827 million, 2011 and 2012. And they were able to use it to train and empower women, elderly persons with disability. 300 persons were empowered in Ondo State, Benue State, River State. Advocacy training also took place. In housing and the achievement of what we've been able to do together, thank you very much, and we're still doing more. Over 100 slum dwellers are going to be provided good quality living houses between now and 2020. They were also able to provide over 2,397 solar lights. On the environment, on the Ministry of Environment, it is not left out. We funded them in 2011, 200 million, and in 2012, 792 million was appropriated to them, and these are the things they were able to achieve. What is the current status of the MDGs? This is the crux of my presentation today. Ladies and gentlemen, good people of Nigeria, I want to tell you that the administration of the president, Dr. Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, is doing good, and it is doing well, and it is achieving the MDGs. Why do I say that? Thank you very much. Why do I say that? In 2012, the National Bureau of Statistics was commissioned to tell us what is the level of implementation on the MDGs we have for the country. You know, we are running down to 2015. We needed to know what we've achieved so far and where we're going and what gaps that are remaining. And I want to declare to you, Nigerians, that the country has been able to achieve some goals that I'll be listing from the findings of the NBS. The country has been able to achieve goals. One, this was recently even applauded by the Food Agricultural Organization of the United Nations System. Thank you very much. We were able, the goal says, eradicate extreme poverty and hunger. We were able to reduce the number of people suffering from hunger from 19.3% of 1990 to 8.2% in 2012, we're actually supposed to be at 9.6, and way before the 2015 deadline, we've been able to achieve the MDGs. Not only that, we're also working assiduously to reduce the number of under 5 that are underweight. Ladies and gentlemen, in universal basic education, the attendance, net attendance ratio in primary school has increased in 2008 from 62% to 71%. The literate gentlemen, I want to show you another goal the country has achieved. Goals 3, eliminating the gender disparity between the boys, the girls, and the boys. In primary school, the National Bureau of Statistics found that the disparity between the girl and the boy child education in primary school is wiped out. And in secondary school, you even have more girls in secondary school than boys. And in goals 4, reduction of child mortality. The under 5 mortality in 2008 was 157 per 1,000 live birth. In their finding, they got 94 per 1,000 live birth. The infant mortality too has greatly reduced from 75 per 1,000 live birth to 61 per 1,000 live birth. Our desire to bring the under 5 mortality, what you see in red, it's what was expected to be at 2005. We're still working hard towards achieving the under 5 mortality. For maternal mortality, we've done remarkably well as a country. In 1990, the maternal mortality was 1,000 per 100,000 live birth. This reduced in 2004 to 800 per 1,000 live birth. It further fell in 2008 to 545 per 100,000. We're not going to rest on our hours. Our deficit is to bring it down to 250 per 100,000 live birth. That is the expected. It says reduce by 3/4 the maternal mortality between 1990 and 2015. So you go back to the baseline, and then you'll be able to project what we've done so far. We've also been able to increase the number of people that are attended to by health professionals when they are giving birth. The statistics has also gone up from 38.9% to 53.6%. Ladies and gentlemen, this is another goal the country has been able to achieve. Combating, next slide please, combating HIV/AIDS, malaria and other diseases. He said, halt and begin to reverse the prevalence of HIV/AIDS. For the country in 2000, the HIV prevalence of the country was 5.4. It fell to 4.2, and as of 2012, in the last NBA survey, they found 4.1. We have altered, we have reversed, we've stabilized, but we are not resting. We want a 0 new infection rate. People that have had HIV, they will continue to receive drugs. They are not going to transmit the infection. We don't want new infection. So the country is going to ensure that everybody has access to antiretroviral drugs. It excites me when I talk about health. Look at what has happened in... Actually, I get excited. Look at the prevalence of insecticide-treated nets. In 2008, 5.5 people were sleeping under mosquito nets. Over 600% increase. As at 2012, 34.6% are sleeping under insecticide-treated nets. We are going to bring it to 100%. That is our target for 2015. On water and sanitation. All this. On water and sanitation, from the NBS study, it was found that we have 57% as of 2012, and on sanitation it's 33.7%. We're going to bring it to 69.5%. We're working assiduously to improve the number of people, the number of Nigerians that have good access to to sanitation. I've not said that we have achieved this goal. We are working hard at it. Thank you very much. On goals 8, we've done remarkably well. On goals 8, we've done remarkably well. And a number of people, ladies and gentlemen, all of you have answered. That is the good work of the present government. All of you, most of you have internet access. You can see the internet access in the picture. We're going to run through some photographs right now on what we've achieved so far, because they are telling me that my time is running up. You look at North Central, we have Plateau State. Please go to the slides. Please go to the slides. North Central, we have Plateau State. These are the chairs, classroom chairs we provided in North Central. You see that wonderful teacher teaching. It is because she's teaching in a comfortable classroom. In Niger State, that water tank and solar power ball was provided by the MDGs. You can see the people very happy and drinking from clean boreholes. Also in Niger State, in Bida local government. Anything I say, go and verify. That is why we have put the places and the locations on the slides. Go and verify. The government is doing good. Ladies and gentlemen, look at this fisherman, this man in Guzo local government, Zamfara State. He has been taught how to fish and is feeding his fish. You can see the quantity of fish only this man has. The midwifery school at nursing was built in Zamfara West, Guzo local government. That is the executive director standing in front of the auditorium that is newly completed. In Kano State, Gako local government, we did a water treatment plant. That is the Kafin Chiri water treatment plant that can be found in Kano State. Look at this lady treating the people we have in the newly expanded comprehensive Guazo comprehensive hospital. Look at the beds and the woman lying on the beds. That was done in Gombe State, the Balanga local government, northeast. In Gombe State also, the children are singing, showing appreciation to the chairs and the table provided by the MDGs. Ladies and gentlemen, we did not stop there. We provided water that they are using on commercial basis. That is the Merua, taking our water to sell, to put food on his table. Ladies and gentlemen, we have not stopped there. We also provided classroom blocks in Adamawa State. Under the conditional grant scheme, we provided fleets of ambulances for Abia State, Southeast. These are the ambulances to go to the various local government and our primary health care centers. In Akwa Ibom State, I commissioned water. In Anambra State, next slide please. We were also able to do the secondary school there. We provided secondary school. In Akwa Ibom State, you see this young boy drawing from the water, the monopump that we have done. In Akwa Ibom State also, the beds and the beddings were provided. Please, next slide. You can see the woman staying on our bed in Delta State South. Then also in Delta State South and Nyocha North, that water tank was done by the conditional cash transfer in Ekiti South. The pictures run through. Please run through the pictures. I want to conclude because they tell me my time is up. Please, that's Lagos State. Run through. Yes, that's a boy writing in Lagos State. Yes, go to the last slide, the conclusion slide. Please, last slide. Please. You can show them later. Please, last slide. I want to conclude that far ahead of the 2015 deadline, the country has been able to achieve goals 1, goals 3, and goals 3. And we're on track on goals 2, 4, 5, and 8. We're working hard on goal 7. With less than 1,000 days to the deadline of the MDG framework, efforts are being made to sustain this progress that we've achieved so far. There is need for partnership and synergy. There is need, ladies and gentlemen of the press, for you to disseminate this news to the good people of Nigeria. I wish to thank, finally, His Excellency, Dr. Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, GCFRO, the President and the Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, for his unwavering commitment to the poor, and for insisting that the debt relief gains be devoted entirely to the interventions that affect the most disadvantaged in the society. Finally, I want to thank you warmly and sincerely for giving me your attention, undivided attention, for this last 30 minutes. I thank you. Thank you, Honorable Minister. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. The Senior Special Assistant to Mr. President on Millennium Development Goals said that the projects are verifiable and are on ground. The government is doing good and achieving a lot on MDGs. Do we agree with that? And if we do agree with that, can we put our hands, ladies and gentlemen, for a job well done? Thank you. Thank you. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, we are now going into the question and answer sessions. The rules still remain the same. If you do have any question, you raise up your hands. Thereafter, tell us your name, the organization you are coming from, and ask your question. No use of foul language. So we will start with the questions that have come from the social media, and I will start with a set of them. And this one is for the Senior Special Advisor on MDG to Mr. President. This question is coming from Victor Chidoze from Enugu. He said, what is MDG doing to help Amagu village in Inachi town of Udi, local government area of Enugu state, to get water? We have been denied basic amenities like water, road, and transformer. We want MDG to come to our aid. Then another question now coming for the Acting Executive Secretary, Ubed, is coming from one Mr. Enes Da'a from Jos Plateau State. Mr. Da'a wants to know, why are Almajiri schools not cited in Plateau State? Then another one still on Almajiri school, and this one is coming from one Ibrahim. He said he read just yesterday some groups complaining about the citing of Almajiri schools that are not being cited at the catchment areas, but that the Almajiri schools are cited in an elitist environment. Can you explain, Acting Executive Secretary? Then for the Acting Executive Secretary, Ted Fond, this question is coming from one Malam Ibrahim from Kaduna. He said he's a financial analyst. The question is, what are you doing to encourage increase in the collection of funds from TED Fund that are said to be stacked in your office? Still from one Shehu. Shehu is also asking this question from Jigawa.